This is Freya. She's our dog. We got her on Saturday this week. She's a German Shepherd Terrier mix, and she's 6 months old, and she's just so precious. She can't get enough attention, so she's probably going to be here the whole time. So basically, I thought about uploading a video yesterday. I was thinking about how I missed it, and how I missed you guys, and how I felt very disconnected from everybody that I know being here in Moncton. I mean, I enjoy my life. My life is not horrible by any stretch. It's just stressful because that's life. And I just wanted to give like a full-on update of like live action Nichole, not typey Nichole. And then Kristen uploaded a video and I was like, this was meant to be. I was supposed to think about that. And then her doing that was just like the initiative that I needed to be like, okay, yes, I do. I need to. And so when I saw that today, I watched that video and I went right upstairs and plugged in my camera battery and charged it. And that's the dog playing with her bone. She's energetic with the bone. She can't hold on to it yet. She's trying to figure it out. It's like a big beef bone. But you hear that? That's the dog. And so yeah, that was just kind of like the initiative that I needed to update you guys on everything. And so that's what I'm gonna do. I didn't script anything. I didn't think about what I was gonna say. So this might be a little bit messy. That's okay, because that's me. Let's do a year recap, because that's what Kristen did. So this time last year, I would have just started dating Jake for about a couple of weeks. And I was living in Grand Prairie. I was working at the sign shop, and things seemed pretty good. They were pretty good. I was still in Alberta, and I think we all know how I feel about Alberta, but things were okay. And then in August, things had been going downhill at my job because I realized that it wasn't a design job. It was an administrative assistant job, and that's not what I want to do with my life. I don't like paperwork, and I don't want to, write it all day, no matter how much I get paid. It's boring. And I felt like I was being penalized for having arthritis, and having that arthritis irritated because doing administrative work, which is not what I want to do, and typing on a computer all day long was making my wrists hurt. So I missed it, like, I think a total of maybe 3 days is what I missed, maybe. So I quit that job and I moved to Fort St. John with Jake, and I was there for a month. And that video that is uploaded, I'm in that apartment. And we both started really hating Western Canada. And Jake had said when we first started talking that he wasn't going to date a girl that was from there, because then that would mean there was no chance of him ever moving home, which just wasn't a reality for him. He had to go home someday. And I was realizing that I needed to go home, because anytime I ever thought about Halifax, I started crying, like full-on bawling. Like anytime anyone mentioned it. My parents went home in June of last year, 2016, yeah, last year, and they were talking to me about it, and I just started crying because I wanted to be there so badly. So it was apparent that I needed to go home. So Jake asked for a transfer with work. Took a little bit, he got it, and we drove home. I think I have a little bit of video from the drive. I'm gonna see if I can find it, and I'll put it in like right now.
It has absolutely nowhere to go. Here and tell them how to make fucking towns. Like, see this little bit of water here? Use it, boys. Yeah, let's just go out in the middle of fucking nowhere. Frank's got a farm, and let's just build everything we need there around it.
I think it's a little bit of footage from Saskatchewan. There was like a lake that it's bizarre because Saskatchewan's so flat, right? So there's like no end to it. It looks like the ocean, but it's just a lake because ain't no ocean in Saskatchewan. And so we did that drive. It was a good drive. It was a long drive. If you ever do it, it's beautiful. Take time. Oh, Kristen, I'm sure you know because you've done your fair share of road trips. But just take your time. Don't do it in 5 days. It's not fun in 5 days. It's really not. Ontario is a bitch to drive through. It's so wide and it's pretty, but it gets tiring after a while at 90 kilometers an hour. And it takes forever. It takes forever. We get here. Jake has to start work in, I think it was like a week he had to start work. So he had to find a place to live in Moncton, which is where he got transferred to. That's where we are now. First house was a mess. We got there and they're like, the water's not hooked up yet, but it's supposed to be hooked up tomorrow. We're like, okay, that's fine. You're renovating it and the water's not hooked up. Cool. Makes sense. So we come back and it's still not hooked up. And we're like, So we stayed in a hotel that night. We were like, okay, bud, like we're communicating with the landlord and be like, what's going on? When's it gonna be hooked up? Blah, blah, blah. There was this whole ordeal. I'm not gonna explain the whole thing because it was like a week's process. Like it's a long story, but basically we were not living in that house because it was all digged up and it wasn't finished. And like they just agreed that it was finished and it wasn't finished. Like they were just dicking us around and it was really annoying. So they're like, we have this other house that you can rent. It just needs the appliances, which we can take from this house you were going to live in. We can put the appliance in that house and it's ready. It's ready to go. It's in a better place. It's a bigger house and it's good. So we are in Bathurst at this point at, I wonder if you can hear my washer. That's my washer, if you can hear that. We're in Bathurst at his parents' house. That's where we were staying, which is 2.5 hours away from Moncton. So we can't exactly go to the house we're gonna be living in to look at it. He sent us all kinds of pictures, tells us about it. We're like, okay, I see, it is nice, it's finished, okay. So we come to move in and the appliances, like the fridge is there and like the stove from the other place is there, but the stove is not the right stove. And so it's in the middle of the floor, not hooked up, but. So that was another whole ordeal. Eventually, we have a stove, we have everything. We've been in for quite a few months now, and our rent is cheaper than it was supposed to be because they dicked us around so much. Cool. I still don't have a design job. I have a nice place to live. It's an okay house. There's things wrong with it. Like minor details that were missed, and like I would not sign another lease to live here because of that. But it's not bad. It's really not bad. We're on Main Street, we're right in town, we have a yard, it's our own house, we're not sharing a house, it's not an apartment, like split levels, it's our house. So that worked out. It has huge windows, like there's one big, I'll show you in a minute, but like there's one big window there, there's a big window there, big window there, there's a big window over, like it's huge, it's nice windows, lots of light, it's really great. So yeah, a lot of windows. I have that window, that's the front of the house. And then you have, excuse my mess, my house is really messy right now. I haven't cleaned it because the dog and it's just, anyway, yeah. So we have that window and that window and that window, the back windows and this window. And there's windows like this upstairs in every room. They're a little bit smaller, but they're basically huge, just like these ones are. Yeah. And, well, I've kind of talked a little bit about how it's been kind of difficult with my parents, as it usually is, but it's really not that bad. It's really not. They're nice. They're coming home at the end of June, so I'll see them then, which is exciting. I didn't get to go home for Christmas because we couldn't afford it. So many bumps in the road with getting this place, and the rent being more than we expected. So that sucks. And working back at Walmart sucks. Working back at Walmart really sucks. But, you know, I'm applying to jobs like the plague. Like, everywhere in New Brunswick and Nova Scotia, I'm applying to jobs, so hopefully we'll find something. And that will work out. That would be really nice if that works out. And life is pretty good. I get stressed out about random things and money and blah 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 because that's who I am. But at the end of the day, I'm home. The dog's playing with dust in the air right now, so I keep looking at her. She's so cute. I'm home and I have a dog and I'm living with Jake, and that's the most important thing to me. I didn't realize being on the East Coast was so important to me until I left. And so I think thus far in my life, that's the best experience I've had. Because now, hello Freya, because now I know that the East Coast is where I belong. It's where I need to be. It's where the people are nice. It's where the air smells like the ocean. It's where there are hills. You don't realize how much you're gonna miss hills until you don't see one for a year. So, you know, in the last year, I've lived in Grand Prairie, Alberta. I've lived in Fort St. John, BC. I've stayed in Bathurst, New Brunswick for a couple of weeks, and now I live in Moncton, New Brunswick. That's a lot in a year. That's a lot of moving and a lot of not feeling like you're in a permanent place. But we're working on that, and hopefully we'll feel a little bit more permanent in the near future and less like everything is temporary all the time. Yeah, life. And I go to the gym. Oh, the gym! I totally forgot to mention like the hugest change in my life as far as like consistency and goals of my life. I go to the gym now, like regularly. It's just part of my life. I don't even think about it. It's like, okay, it's time to go to the gym. Let's go. Jake, you're off work. Let's take some pre-workout. We're going to the gym. And I am like, oh my God. Okay, this may be silly because I'm not exactly, you know, body goals or whatever, because it's only been a year and it's been inconsistent and we've been through so much and like so many bumps in the road. But guess what? I go to the gym regularly and I can leg press. Like leg press is like when you lay on the machine. I don't know how much you guys know. I'm not trying to be condescending, but I just don't know what you know. So leg press is like you sit in a chair that's kind of like slanted like this off the ground, and there's like this big thing above you and you load weights on it, and then you push it. It's a leg press. Press it with your legs up in the air. And I can do that with, I think the heaviest I've done so far is 6 45-pound plates and 2 25-pound plates, and then the weight of the machine itself. So like, that's over 300 pounds. That's like, we're reaching 400 pounds doing that. And that's so cool. And like, you know, I'm not 100%, you know, satisfied with my body yet. I don't want to say satisfied. I mean, I haven't reached all my fitness goals. That's a better way to put it. I haven't reached all my fitness goals yet, but that's, you know, that's fine. Life is a process and nothing is ever finished. Nothing is ever finished. And one night I got up to go to the bathroom and I was like scratching my back, and like my back isn't squishy anymore. Like there's no squishy parts on my back. It's muscular. I can feel the muscles in my back. I don't know if this is going to be visible on camera. This might be silly. I might not put it in. But I'm going to try and see if you can see how different my arms look. So, first of all, I have a collarbone now, which I've never had before. But let me see if I can see. I've got, that's my tricep. You can see that. Like, that's not flexed and that's flexed. And then that's not flexed and that's flexed. Like you can see my triceps now when I flex them, and like flexing this arm used to hurt. Like that used to be physically painful for me. So like that's really cool that I can do that now and it doesn't hurt. That's cool. And then like I have biceps, and I never used to be able to flex this shoulder because it just hurt. Like, oh my God, it hurt. And I can now, and I have. It's so cool. And so I don't know if you can't really because of my shirt. I'm not taking that off, but it's neat to see things change. And for a while, this is gonna be a long video, I'm sorry, but I just have like exciting things when it comes to my fitness, because you guys know I've always wanted to be a fit person, and I just never knew how to approach it. And now I have Jake, and it's like his thing. So if I'm gonna have a life with him, then it's my thing too, because we live together, so it just makes sense. Now I know how to do that, and I'm seeing all these changes. Like for the longest time when we were going, I was getting frustrated with myself because I wasn't seeing changes. And that was because I was focusing on the fact that I still have fat on my stomach. And that's my area that I don't like on my body. I'm much more okay and comfortable with my body now than I was a year ago, which is huge. It's so huge. It's like everything is so much more comfortable. Just existing is more comfortable, and it's awesome. So basically how I changed that was like, Jake would point out, you know, I notice when we're at the gym, I can see the muscles in your back now. And when you carry weights, you can see your biceps now because there's less fat there and the muscle is stronger. So I started realizing that I need to focus on areas that are changing and stop focusing on this one specific area that I want to change, because maybe that's going to take longer and that's okay. But because I was focusing so hard on that one part of my body that I just desperately wanted to change, I was just ignoring everything else that was changing on my body. It wasn't existing to me. It didn't matter to me because I've never had an issue with my legs. I've never had an issue with my arms. It's never bothered me. And so I wasn't focusing on the fact that it was changing like hugely. And now that I can focus on simply the stronger weights that I can lift, like the stronger I am, the more muscle tone I have. So that means my body's changing because I can lift more. I'm stronger than I was before. Like I told you about the leg press. Yesterday we were doing pull downs, which is when you sit on like a bench and you have like a pulley above you and you put a bar on it and you lean back and you pull back and you bash in your chest basically. Like not hard, but like it touches your chest and it goes back up and you pull down. I did that with like 95 pounds yesterday. I pulled 95 pounds down to my body like 8 times after already doing 2 sets of like, I did like 1 set, I think it was like, oh god, I can't remember, but like having already done 2 sets of slightly lighter, slightly lighter weight, I then did 95 pounds, Freya, 95 pounds, and I did rows, which is like when you pull something towards you, you're rowing, right? 100 pounds after doing 2 sets of other weights. I did 100, like, I know you guys aren't like fitness people and like that's totally fine, Freya, and that's totally fine that you're not. You don't have to be. It doesn't have to be a part of your life if you don't want it to be, but I want it to be, and that is so exciting to me that I'm seeing those changes and it's happening and it's working, and it just, like, all of the stress and all of the stuff going on right now, and like life isn't what blah blah blah, like it's not, my life's not that bad, but like stuff happens and it stresses you out and you feel frustrated, or like right now because I don't have a design job, I feel like I'm behind in my career, but I have to remember all the things that I have done. I've moved across the country, I've lived in Alberta, I've lived in BC, I now live in New Brunswick, I'm from Nova Scotia, and that was all in the space of a year, and that's why I don't have a job in design. But guess what? I can lift a lot of weight now and my body's changing in a positive way, and that is awesome. And I just try to remember that now. Anyway, that was like a huge rant, but that's like one of the most positive changes that have been consistent in my life now. And I like to tell Jake that I owe it to him, but he always says, you know, no, it's not, I didn't do it. You wanted to do it. I just showed you how. So it's not me. You did that. Which is true. And it's just, it's like the best feeling. It's a good feeling. It's a good feeling, and I'm happy. And I just wanted you guys to know that. Like, I'm really stressed, like a lot. Overall, in that aspect of my life, I feel like I finally have control. And I'm not afraid. I have a lot to say. I think I'm gonna make a whole separate video on just like my state of body positivity now, because I'm not afraid to eat anymore. I don't think I ever told you guys how nervous I was about eating, and how, you probably knew, it's not like I was hiding it, but I didn't have an eating disorder. I just felt guilty for eating a lot of the time, and I don't anymore. I eat more than I have ever eaten in my life in one meal, and it's okay because I exercise and it's not negatively affecting me. It's awesome. Oh, her name is Freya because Jake's family dog is named Loki after the Norse god of mischief. She's Freya after the Norse god of, I believe, love and relationships, maybe? I'm not sure. It's Freija, I believe, is how it's spelled. Anyway, she's a total cutie. That was super long-winded. I don't know how long this is going to be, so that's going to be interesting to edit. Hopefully my computer can handle it. But I miss you guys, and I just wanted you to know that I'm doing really well. And I hope you guys had a really good week and a really good year. And I want to make videos more often, so maybe I'll do this thing where I sit down in my living room and talk to you, where it echoes really bad, and my dog plays because I'm sitting on the floor. Bye! I totally forgot that we had that 3 thing at the end, so, hi girl! So, I guess it was, what's the best food I ate this month? would have been the chicken wings Jake made at his sister's place last weekend when we got the dog. It was right before we got the dog, and Jake made chicken wings on the barbecue, and they were so good. Oh my god, I don't know what he put on them, but that man can cook like really well. So that was best food I ate. Music, I've been going back to like high school Nichole Green Day. It was 21st Century Breakdown is what I used to listen to so much in high school. When I had those headphones in my ears, that's usually what I was listening to. So I rediscovered that I like that. So I've been listening to that more often. And also, Emma Blackery's new music. I don't know, I think you guys know who Emma Blackery is. Her new music is so good. So I've been listening to her new music, her 2 new songs. The Magnetize just came out like yesterday, but Nothing Without You came out a while ago and I love it. Oh my god, Tessa Violet. Sorry, girl. Tessa Violet's EP from back in the fall I just found, and it's so good. Look up Tessa Violet. I don't know if you guys know who she is, but look up Tessa Violet and go into her channel and go to her playlist and play her music, her EP. It's so good. It's so good. I think my favorite one off of it is Haze. I don't know. I'm picking a favorite. It's really hard. It's really good. Listen, like seriously, guys, go listen to Tessa Violet's music, please, please, if you haven't already. It's so good. And current obsession. I just started watching Jane the Virgin like yesterday, and I was like on the 13th episode because I didn't work yesterday or today. And I really enjoyed that. So maybe that's the obsession. Okay.